Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 69. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Christopher John Payne, a coach, a speaker, and works with coaches and consultants who wants to take their businesses to the next level. One of many Chris's success is generating gross revenue of $3 million for his first information product. For those of you listening to the audio version of this podcast, please note that this special episode is only one part, but it's also available in a video format on my YouTube channel. Click the link below for the video. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Patience.
Welcome to Online Success Journey.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, thank you for coming. Okay. Chris, you are a coach, you are an author, you are a speaker. What else do you do?
Well, one thing I'm very proud of is being a father. I'm a father to two boys who are now 17 and 14. And my 14-year-old, it's his birthday today. So I'll be ringing him later just to congratulate him. I'm reaching 14 years old.
A big milestone.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, someone who doesn't know you, I know you've been in the internet for a while, but not everyone know you. But what can you tell us a little bit about you, your background? Have you always been wanting to be an entrepreneur or an author?
Well, I used to be an employee and then I got sacked, effectively made redundant. Mm-hmm. There was like a fallout. My bosses had an issue with me working in the business, so I was out of the business. And the part of the contract, as it were, of leaving that business is not doing anything in the same business for 3 years. It's like, oh my gosh, all this experience I've got, they're paying me some money so that, as they're making me redundant, but I can't do anything in the same business. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to set up my own business. That's what I thought I could do. So I started importing personal growth courses from the States and selling them here in the UK. So I started from nothing and started buying these courses in at a discount and selling them mail order in the UK. So I was, like, for example, there's a course called Photo Reading, which is how to read a book at speeds of up to 25,000 words a minute. So it's like, get through a book in 5 minutes. 1 page a second, flip. And I started to sell this, and it's a £200 audio program. So I did little adverts, this kind of size, in the national press, in like New Scientist magazine and places like that. So I spent some money, bit of money for the advert, and then got inquiries that came through, and I sent out a letter to explain what this course was about, and people bought. So I went from my back bedroom doing nothing, from zero, to starting to, my first year I did about £80,000 of business. Second year I think I did couple of £100,000, then went up until I was running a 7-figure business.
Wow, and then from there you thought, I'm not going back to my work.
Well, exactly. So for anybody in the States, who's watching, so I was doing millions of dollars a year in revenue.
Wow, okay. So, but anyway, what do you do, the things you do? Is there any stopping? Are you stopping soon?
Well, what I do now, so that was a business that was very successful. I had 50,000 customers. There were 18 in my team. Went from nothing to starting to employ people, and then bringing those people and then having an office and a warehouse. Wow. Amazing. From nothing, from a couple of £1,000 of investment of cash, my savings. I went from literally that small seed corn of money to growing this business. And I was mailing at one point 1 million letters nearly a million letters a year around the UK, and a letter would be 16 pages, like your sheet of paper with questions on it.
Wow.
16 pages of information about photo reading or Sedona method, which is a personal growth technique, or my own CDs that I created. And then there was a colour brochure and an order form and an envelope, and then that would go inside a larger envelope with writing all over it, and I sent out 1 million of those a year.
Oh.
And it was profitable. And then people would ring up, or they'd order online, or they would send an order in the post, and we'd be sending out thousands of products. And so some of our customers, I say about 50,000 of them, they were buying up to 18 times, I think. There's one person who bought 18 different products, and most of our products were in the £200 to £500 to £700 price point.
That is really good. Anyway, you've been in the business for a long time, you've been successful. So let's put man aside. When did you know that you became really successful?
Well, actually, that's a great question, actually, Patience, because there was a point when I thought, oh my God, this is this business I could sell for millions, as it was, or like a 7-figure. I think it was the time when I thought I could sell this for £1 million, this business, because that's what it was worth. And that was like, wow, this is awesome. The other thing that made a difference was being able to buy what mattered to me, which was, because it's a business expense, it meant that I could buy it, the latest gadgetry. So I had the latest laptop, I had a great car, I had the top range digital camera and stuff like that. And that really made me think, wow, there was nothing I wanted to buy that I couldn't afford. I didn't want a yacht, but there was nothing I couldn't afford. And that was a real turning point for me.
So that's success. In all these years, do you have a mentor?
I've had several mentors, yes. So I've worked with a number of people. I've had a number of coaches. My first real coach was a guy called George Copsey in the States, and we spoke for a number of years. He's still a terrific guy. We still speak occasionally. And I've had people like John Carlton I've paid money to. John Carlton is a copywriter, and he coaches people on how to be great writers. So he charges $1,000. I think he charges more now, $1,000 an hour. I paid the likes of Dan Kennedy. You may have heard of Dan Kennedy. He's a marketer. Okay. There's a lot with online marketing. I've been to his home for a full day. He now charges more than $18,000 a day to go and see him. I didn't pay him quite that much, but that's the rate that he is charging. And I've had loads of other coaches that I pay money to for various things, mostly business coaching. Some coaching has been personal stuff, like I'm struggling with this emotionally. Okay. That's been helpful.
Oh, wow.
Everybody needs a coach, basically.
Are you sure?
Yeah, everybody needs some support. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, you've been successful. You've been able to sell all of your copies. I can see that you sold one of the program 300,000 copies. How was that?
Well, one of my programs did $3 million. I think that's what you were thinking of.
Was
that
it?
One. I've not sold anything for 300,000.
I think
Certainly
300 copies. How to feel happy and feel right now? What was that? How much was that?
Well, actually, that could be.
300,000.
Actually, if you can, did you find that on my website? I think what that was we were sending out an audio of, back, I think then it was on cassette. I don't know. I think we did send it on CD as well, which was effectively an envelope with a CD inside. Okay. And that was an hour of me talking about a particular process and a particular product. And we did, I think we did do 300,000 of those, where we sent literally that many around the UK. And then we got orders for the full course, which was £200, what would now be about $240 worth of.
Yeah, but do you still remember your first sale?
I remember my very, very earliest sales. Yes, I did it was a 4-page brochure. It's a bit like a sheet of A4, actually page of A3 folded, big, slightly thicker card with various products on it, and I got it inserted in a small newsletter. And those first few orders was just like, oh my God, I can't believe. But what I was used to do was I used to pack up the products on a waterbed. I had a waterbed in those days. So we'd literally lay out brown paper on the waterbed, I'm to kid you not, put the product on, wrap it up, wobble, wobble, and tape it.
Okay.
And then take it I used to drive to the local post office, stand in the queue at the post office, hand it over. They'd open a big drawer so you could put it in, because you can't just hand it across to them because it's glass. And then they weigh it and then send it out, and then the person would get that product the next day or 2 days later.
Wow.
But of course, as we got bigger, we had this big van that used to come to our home. I had myself and my girlfriend at the time. Sometimes she'd be doing the packing or take orders over the phone. I'd be packing all the other way around. And we'd be packing up, and the parcel force delivery van would come to the house, pick up the packages and go. Luckily, none of the neighbours complained.
Are you sure? They didn't think that you are into something?
Well, they knew I was up to something, but hopefully they felt it was legitimate, because it was.
Oh, okay. If you are going to keep a note in your pocket every day or in your wallet every day, what will be written on it?
Oh, that's a great question. If it was a note every day, it's take risks today. Take a little risk today. So do something outside my comfort zone. That would be on the little note, because I think that's what life's about. Like you're doing this interview. It's risky. You don't know me. We're here in a room together. We're being a bit close, aren't we? I mean, because we want to capture it on this camera here. So that's slightly outside our comfort zone. Yours and mine, in some ways. So that's what part of life is. And so you doing this video series is incredible, because you're doing something. There's been some technological issues earlier we've had to resolve. And that's part of life, and we need to do that on a daily basis. Like going out dating somebody for the first time. If somebody's single, it's very easy to stay at home. And we can look at profiles on online dating sites, for example, and still do nothing. Or we can even message people backwards and forwards, can't we?
Yeah.
And say, oh, your profile sounds nice, tell me about you. But there are some people out there who never actually go and meet anybody. So they happily chitter-chatter by message. But they don't actually go, well, let's actually meet. No.
It's risky.
It's risky. But I think life's about taking risks. So it's actually asking somebody out you date, and then at some point you say, oh, look, we've been in a couple of years, are we going to be boyfriend, girlfriend? We're going to move forward with this. And it's risky, because the other person could say no. And then at some point we're going to say, will you marry me?
So everything is risky.
Everything is risky. But we forget that, and we try to avoid taking risks. So even I will avoid taking. It's very easy for me to stay at home and do research online and study stuff. But that's not going to get clients. What I've got to do is get on the phone and speak to people. I've got to send emails out to my list. And the vast majority don't open the emails. More than half won't open that email. But the proportion that do, some of those will then go on to buy something that I'm offering.
Have you ever sent out an email and you didn't get a response you hoped?
Well, I mean, I would imagine there must have been happening, because there is always, whenever you send an email, there's a prediction. I have a prediction of how many I'm going to sell, how many clicks I'm going to get. And either I overestimate the number of clicks or I underestimate.
Okay. Because I was thinking, when we we expect something and it doesn't happen, that sometimes can hold us back to say, I tried that one, it didn't happen, so I don't want to do it again. Very much.
That's very easy to do. So we call, the one expression is once bitten, twice shy. And a lot of people have experienced that. And it is easy to lick our wounds and then do nothing. But really life is about getting back up again and going on. There's a lovely song by a band called Chumbawamba called I Get Knocked Down and I Get Up Again. And it was used, there are lots of singing it at football stadiums. I get knocked down, I get up again. And that's what it's about. Getting up, and it's the speed with which, after we've been knocked down, we get back up again and move forward. I mean, some people, like a woman or a man who gets divorced, it might be 5 or 10 years before they're ready for another relationship. It's like they're so hurt. You know, I don't think I could cope with another relationship. But then they do. But do you really need to wait 10 years until you're ready? It's very easy to say, well, I'm still not quite ready. Well, you're never ready. You just get out there.
And do it.
And do it. That's it.
Okay. Right, Chris. If we had to close all your businesses, all your accounts, and you're left with $100, how would you invest it?
Oh, that's a great question. So if I was doing that, well, one thing with the $100. So if I had absolutely nothing, firstly I'd need a website. So we could certainly use the likes of Fiverr.com to build a site. Well, probably first is some kind of landing page. So yes, I might get a site going, but really I need some kind of a landing page, which is often called a squeeze page, where I'd capture people's email addresses in exchange for some kind of PDF. I'd open an account from scratch with the likes of Aweber, so it's free to sign up for Aweber, equal to the likes of MailChimp. So it's free, so it's not going to cost me anything, so I can capture those emails. So when they sign up, I would then offer them something so you got this for free, here's an extra something for $7, $10, $15. Yes? So I'd start to bring some money in, even from that, and I'd send them emails out and make them offers. So for example, I could find products on JVZoo, the likes of that, and actually say, I've seen this product. So I might actually buy that product first, which I would, and actually say, well, it's to do with, let's say it's called stopwatch copywriting or something like that, and it sells for $40, and it could be either 50% commission, or it could be 90% commission or 100% commission. In some cases, 100% commission at what's called the front end, the first sale. So I would get the $40. So if I'm getting people into that landing page, then they sign up for my free gift, then I make them an offer, and generally 15% will actually buy that product at $40. Well, if that's the case, I keep all that money for myself. But equally as well, if there's an upsell from that, I get 50% of that. Now, on some of the products, it's the commission can be for life. So I will keep getting commissions if that person goes on to buy further products from that person that they bought, that I'm the affiliate for. Now, how do I get people to the site? Well, I can get people to the site. Perhaps I can use like a Facebook ad. So I could say, of my $100, I'm going to allocate, say, $50 of that or $25 of that to do a series of, like an ad, which drives people to that landing page, which I've had set up.
Okay.
And what I will generally find is, if I spend $25, one of those people at least will buy the $40 product. Yes?
Okay.
So I spend $25, but I've actually made
$40.
So I've now got a bit more money. So I spent $25, made $40, so I'm $15 up. Yes. So now I can spend, the next day I can spend another $25, but I've also got $15, which I can use to maybe improve the graphics of the free gift I'm offering, maybe make it more attractive, the landing page. So I can spend $25 again. Yes.
Okay.
And now I've got $70 effectively. I've got the $25, but I've got the 15 and the 15. I can then start to spend $50
Wow.
or $65 a day, so I can start to ramp up my money. And what I know is that each time I'm spending that $25,
You're getting a $40.
I'm getting $40 back. So it's very easy to forget to do it and just think, I've had enough of that. No, keep doing it. So I can just keep doing it. And as long as I keep getting my $40,
Yes.
and of course, then some of those people at the very beginning might have then bought something else. Because I've got now a list.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So the person who created the stopwatch copywriting product, they're making them offers on a daily or a few day basis, and I get 50%. So I'm going to get commission in my bank from them if they go and buy something else. But I'm going to send emails where I'm offering something, and I'll find something else that I can offer. It could be something on creating solo ads. Could be someone how to create Facebook ads and make them work. So this thing where we spend 25 and make a bit more back is called self-liquidating. So it liquidates itself immediately. So I spend 25 and before the end of the day, I've made that money back and more. That's called self-liquidating offer. So it seems like I'm spending money to get leads, but actually, because a very small percentage will buy a product, give me their email address and buy something, that pays for the initial advertising. So suddenly my money would start to go up. So it's like when I did my business called Lighters, when I started that, I started with a couple of £1,000, effectively a few $1,000s at the very most. But what I did was when I did the little bit of advertising, very small amounts of money. My first advert was £125, but it didn't bring me back £125. It brought me £1,500 in profit.
Wow.
So that I did then. So I didn't put the same advert in the next month. I did, instead of doing a £125 ad, I did a £250 ad. So it was double the size. And that brought in, again, 10 times back in profit. And then I didn't stop there. I did a bigger ad. I went to a full page, full colour ad, which was going to cost me about £1,000. And that brought me in £5,000, £10,000 in profit. And then from there, I did multiple colour pages. So over time, I kept spending the money, but I knew each time it wasn't risky. I knew I would more than break even. So over time, I ran between 800 and 900 adverts in the national press in the UK. And only 2 or 3 or 4 of them actually didn't make me money. Because I tracked every one of those, because we had software to make sure, and there was a little code in each advert called department code. So I knew the code that how much revenue and profits and names came from each advert. So the easy thing, but however, there were competitors to me in the magazines, and they kept the same £125, effectively $150 ad, month after month after month. They never occurred to them to make a bigger ad and invest back in. They spent the money.
But you are smarter, so you broke even.
Well, not much smart. It doesn't take much, does it, to actually invest in, but then back in. Now, I'm making it simple, but business is simple. We just try and overcomplicate it.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.